Welcome to Elevated Sports. I'm Kyle Johnson.
I'm Billy Mock.
We will be discussing the MLB season.
Off-season it's not over, but it's almost
It's
over.
almost donezo.
Spring training, pitchers and catchers have reported. Now you have the rest of the team starting to report to spring camp. And teams are getting at it. So I figured it would be appropriate that we start to make our predictions. This video will be our season predictions. Basically, how we think the divisions will line up, and then the playoffs. Who we think is going to win it all. So right now, this video is the video you will be referencing later in the season to find out who we think is winning it all. And we're going to stick to our predictions, okay?
Yeah.
So, we have division winners for each division. We have the wild card set up, and then we also have the playoffs set up. So, let's get into it.
Let's get jiggy with it.
Let's start with our division, the American League East.
American League East, the greatest division.
I don't know how you're going to feel about this. I have the Yankees winning the AL East. But,
Who are you?
For good reason.
I need my hat. My hair's
I have the Yankees winning the division at a record of 101 and 61. You can't deny the talent they have, okay? I hope I eat my words later in the season and they just have a disaster of a season. But from what I'm seeing, they're coming off a loss in the ALCS, added Garrett Cole. This is a decent team. I hate to say it, it's a decent team. I think they win the American League East. I think the Rays come in second place. I got the Blue Jays coming in third. I like this young Blue Jays team. I got the Red Sox coming in fourth and the Baltimore Orioles coming in fifth. What's your American League East?
Mine's pretty similar, except I have the Rays winning.
Yeah.
The Rays were stellar last year. They're going to be stellar this year. I got the Rays. I got them finishing 98-64, winning the AL East. I got the Yankees coming in second. I got them in a wild card spot, too. I got them finishing at 90-72. Because all those wins that you don't have counted in there is going to be that's when they lose to the Rays.
Okay.
I got them. Well, the Rays are going to sweep the season series against the Yankees this year.
18-0?
18-0.
Wow, I like that.
Because they will never play Garrett Cole. Why?
You gonna be too scared to pitch against us?
Probably.
Okay.
He'll feel too ashamed of his. Too ashamed. No, I played for the Astros. But other than that, I got everybody else the same. I got the Blue Jays in third. I got the Red Sox in fourth. And I got the Orioles in fifth.
Okay. AL Central. I have the White Sox winning this division this year.
Wow.
At a record of 94 and 68. They made some bold moves in the offseason. Signed Dallas Keuchel. Got Yasmani Grandal. Got a solid young core. You know, they got Yohan Moncada, some other guys that played pretty well last year. I think they made the steps in the right direction to win a lot more games this year. And then I'm also looking at the competition they're facing in the Central. Twins had a good year that last year, won 100 games, didn't really do anything this offseason to get better. And I think in the playoffs last year, you saw, they proved that they needed to get better, and they didn't. They did sign Josh Donaldson, which was a move right in the direction. That's about it. And Donaldson, I'm not totally sold on him. I don't think he's as good as he was. I think he's still a little overrated. I think the Twins are good this year, but I don't think they have what it takes to win the division. And I know it's kind of a hot take saying the White Sox are going to win because they weren't great last year. But I think the talent that they did add this year and some of the young guys that are developing this year, I think all it takes is a big move at the trade deadline. I think they're set to win this division. So I got them winning at a record of 94 and 68. Then I have the Twins placing second, Indians third, Royals fourth, and Tigers fifth.
Do you have any wild cards at this point? Or are you saving those all for the West?
I'm saving all my wild card predictions for after the main division.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm just going straight into it. In the Central, I got the Indians. I got the Indians winning the division.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think the Twins' excellent season last year. I mean, I don't want to say it was a fluke, but how well they did, I don't think they're going to play that well again. So I got the Indians winning the Central, 94-68. I got the same record. But I do have the Twins close behind in second place. I have them at 92-66. And I have them at my next wild card spot.
The Twins?
The Twins.
Okay.
Then I got the White Sox finishing third, got the Tigers finishing fourth, and last I have the Royals.
Okay. And also, actually, I would say this about the Indians. I think that Francisco Lindor, if not traded before the start of the season, I think he gets moved by the trade deadline. And I don't think the Indians are going to have much room to make up for what they will lose with Lindor. So, Indians came off a 93-win season. I don't think they have what it takes to do that again this year. All right, so you got the Indians. I got the White Sox in that division. Moving to the AL West, this division was extremely difficult for me to pick. I don't know about you. I went back and forth between these teams. I have the Athletics winning the division at a record of 97-65. Same record they had last year. And I do think that it's going to take a lot of wins to win this division because you're looking at the competition. The Astros, the Angels, the Rangers, the Rangers are my number 2 team in this division.
Really? I
really like the Rangers. They were in the wild card race for a big portion of the season last year, kind of dropped off towards the end. But they added Corey Kluber to beef up their starting rotation with guys like Mike Minor, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and then they got some bats with Joey Gallo, some other guys there in Texas. I originally was trying to do everything I could for the Rangers to win this division. But like I said, with the competition like Houston, like the Angels, it's going to take a lot of wins to win this division. And I don't think the Rangers are in a position to win a bunch of games. But I do have them in the second spot in the AL West, with the Athletics taking the first spot. The Astros are number 3 for me. It was difficult between the Astros and Angels because you had the Angels, they add Anthony Rendon, they added some power in their lineup. They still didn't do anything pitching-wise, and they're one of the worst pitching teams in the league last year. And then you have the Astros. They lost Garrett Cole, obviously going through the sign-stealing scandal. New GM, new manager. It's really a season set up for potential disaster. And I think we could potentially see that. And with the whole sign-stealing thing, it's kind of hard to dictate, the real talent they have. Right. You look at they got guys like Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Yuli Gurriel.
Let's not get carried away with the whole Houston trash.
Yeah, we're saving that for another video. But anyway, you look at these guys and you know that they have talent, but then you're like, well, how much of it was sign stealing? How much of it was really talent? So it's kind of hard to gauge the Astros right now. I think they could potentially have a disaster season, but I have them finishing 3rd in the West. I have the Angels 4th and the Seattle Mariners 5th.
Okay. Let's see. What's the last guys? All right, AL West. I also have the Athletics winning.
Okay.
I have the Athletics with a record of 96-66. So one game behind what you have on it. Second, I got the Angels. Third, I got the Astros. Fourth, I got the Rangers. And 5, you got the Mariners.
Can you repeat that again? I just totally distracted for a second.
No, that's all right. So at 1, I got the Athletics. I got the Athletics at 1. 96-66, which is one game behind which you had them as.
Yes.
They'll be winning the West. Then I got the Angels.
Okay.
Then I got the Astros.
Okay.
Then I got the Rangers.
Okay.
And then I got the Mariners.
All right. Okay. Okay, we're on the same page.
For the most part.
All right, let's jump into wild card. I got the Rays top spot in the wild card at a record of 98-64. We had the same records for the Rays.
Whoa.
And then I had the Rangers coming in second at a record of 95-67. And then the rest of the wild card, I think the West is going to be competitive. I have the Astros at 3 and the Angels at 4 in the wild card. So, the wild card is the Rays and then the AL West. And then I have the Indians finishing at 5 in the wild card. So my playoff teams, Yankees, White Sox, Athletics, Rays, and Rangers. Let's move to NL. And then we'll get into the whole playoff thing after we're done with NL.
Okay, excellent.
NL East. This one really is... AL West is going to be extremely competitive. If there's one division that's going to be more competitive than AL West, it's going to be the NL East.
I would agree.
It's another division. We're going to have to win a lot of games to win it. I think the Braves win it at a record of 162. I love this Braves team. Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, just added Marcell Ozuna. This is a good-looking team. Dansby Swanson playing second or shortstop. This is a very promising team coming off a tough loss in the NLDS last year. I think they have what it takes to win this division. My number 2, Washington Nationals. Didn't really lose a lot at all. Actually, when you think about it, they didn't really lose anything. They really added some talent. They added, looking at it here, they added Eric Thames from Milwaukee. And they got Zimmerman back, and then they kept some of these guys that you saw in the playoffs last year: Adam Eaton, Victor Robles, Michael Taylor. They kept a lot of what was a big part of their success last year. And the bullpen for the Nationals was pretty bad for most of the season, but I think in the playoffs you saw them really improve. Guys like Sean Doolittle, Daniel Hudson. You saw this bullpen really improve in the back half of the season. I think this bullpen will be great this season, as well as the starting rotation. Re-signed Strasburg, still have Anibal Sanchez, still have Max Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, big part of the World Series team last year. I think the Nationals will be great this year. I don't think they have what it takes to beat out the Braves. 3 and 4 was tough for me. I got the Mets finishing 3rd. Another great team: Jake DeGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Thor, Pete Alonso. However, the managerial situation, not sure. Got Luis Rojas, Mets guy, not sure how he's going to fare. But this still is going to be a good team. 4, I got the Phillies. The Phillies were tough because they were supposed to win the division last year, totally flopped, got rid of their manager, brought in Joe Girardi. Manager that knows how to win, manager that has been with teams that have a lot of talent. They added Didi Gregorius this offseason. I think the Phillies are going to be good as well, even though I have them finishing at 4, and then I have the Marlins at 5. So I think the NL East is going to be the most. I think the NL East is going to be the most fun division to watch this season.
It was pretty similar for me. I had the Nationals winning.
Okay.
I had them winning with a record of 92-70. I think it's going to be a really close division this year. So they'd be my East champions. Second, I got the Braves.
Okay.
Since I announced the wild cards when I announced the AL, I'm just going to announce it now. I got the Braves taking the first wild card spot.
Okay.
With a record of 90-72. Third, I got the Mets. I actually have the Mets making the second wild card spot.
Okay.
With a record of 87-75. I think it was hard. I agree. It was hard to choose between those top 4 and I got Phillies at 4. Between the 4 of those teams, I feel like anybody could really take that division.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty up in the air right now. Even though the Nationals are the defending World Series champs, there's a lot of talent in the NL East. And then 5, I got the Marlins. The Marlins are not included in the talent in the NL East.
4 Marlins. NL Central. I have the Brewers winning this division. I like the Brewers. Christian Yelich, MVP candidate. Added our boy Avisel Garcia. Aside from the Josh Hader meltdown in the 8th inning of the wild card game last year, you're talking a Brewers team that could probably have made a run at a potential World Series last year. Really solid team. The rest of the NL Central, this was the weakest division last year. The Cardinals won it at a record of 92-70, I think it was, which isn't a great record as a division winner. But I think the Brewers, they made some moves this offseason to get them in the right direction. The Cardinals didn't really do much. I think the Cardinals will be decent this year anyway. They are known for just putting out quality teams every year. But I think the Brewers just have more firepower, considering you got an MVP in Yelich, you got a top reliever in the league in Josh Hader. I think the Brewers win it 95-67. I got the Cardinals coming in second. It was difficult between 2 and 3. I got the Reds coming in third. The Reds made some moves to really beef up their lineup this year. I got the Cubs coming in fourth. The Cubs have kind of really started trending in the wrong direction, had the meltdown at the end of the season last year. If it wasn't for the Cubs, the Nationals may not have even made the wild card game. And then obviously they're kind of having the fallout with Chris Bryant now. I don't expect much from the Cubs this year. And then I have the Pirates coming in last.
Okay. I got the Cardinals winning the division.
Okay.
I got them taking it with a record of 93-69. Yeah, everything you said. Just copy paste. Second, I got the Brewers. They do Yelich. Every time he's on the field, they have a chance.
Yeah.
So that I think it's going to be close between Cardinals and Brewers, but I got the Cardinals edging in and out. Number 3, I got the Cubs. 4, I got Pirates. And 5, I got the Reds.
Okay. Let's move to NL West. I tried to do everything in my ability to not pick the Dodgers to win the West because I like hot takes. I want the D-backs to win this division, the Arizona Diamondbacks, but I just can't deny the talent that the Dodgers are putting out every year, and then adding Mookie Betts and adding David Price. I got the Dodgers with the best record in the MLB this year at 103-59. I got the Diamondbacks coming in second. I got the Padres, added our boy Tommy Pham, and our boy Emilio Pagan from the Rays. I guess the Rays and Padres have some mutual agreement to just trade players in the offseason now.
We lost Jason Bartlett to the Padres a long time ago.
That's right. Jason Bartlett went to the Padres.
Rip.
I got Padres third, Giants fourth, and Rockies fifth. Giants Rockies could flip flop a little bit, but considering Nolan Arenado's probably gone before the end of the offseason or the trade deadline, I think the Rockies will be in full rebuild mode.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I also have the Dodgers with the best record in the MLB. I got them winning 102 and losing 60. They shall be the West champions. Tons of talent on that roster.
Oh, yeah.
Cody Bellinger, Mookie Betts,
Justin Turner.
Yeah. What's his name?
Clayton Kershaw.
They
did lose Ryu to the Blue Jays, but they still have a solid rotation. Kershaw, Walker Buehler, just add David Price. Solid rotation.
They'll be fine.
But even when the rotation will struggle, you have the best offense in the league. Right. You look at that lineup, ridiculous. Betts, Bellinger. You got 3 MVPs on that team. Bellinger has won one, Betts has won, and Kershaw actually won an MVP a few years back. Then you got Max Muncy, Justin Turner, Kike Hernandez, all these guys. Dodgers are going to be scary this year.
Yeah.
Let's move NL wildcard. I have the Nationals taking.
Just forget the rest of the NL West.
Oh,
Who cares about them?
Who
cares about the rest of the NL West?
My bad. Well, really, who does care about the rest of the NL West?
Well, I mean, really, I just wanted to touch on the 2 and 3 because 4 and 5, we both agreed on 4 and 5. The Giants and Rockies are going to be terrible.
Okay.
But 2, I got the Padres. The Padres should have been good last year. I think they're gonna play more to their potential this year.
Yeah.
And then I got the Diamondbacks at 3.
Okay. All right, NL wildcard. I have the Nationals taking the first spot, 96-66. I have the Mets at the second spot, 95 and 67. The NL wildcard race is almost identical to my AL wildcard race. In the NL, I have all NL East teams fighting for those two top spots because I have the Phillies coming in third in the wild card and fourth in their division. And then to fill out the last two, I have the Diamondbacks and Cardinals at 4 and 5 for the NL wild card. Okay. And then your wild card teams were
The Braves and the Mets.
Braves and Mets. Okay.
Also in the East.
Yep. All right. Well, okay. So we have our division winners.
We got our division winners.
Let's move into the playoffs.
Oh boy.
Let's start NL first.
All right, NL. Okay. Wild card game.
Wild card game. I have the Nationals defeating the Mets.
Okay.
In Washington.
My wild card game in the NL, I got the Braves versus the Mets.
Yes.
I'm gonna have the Braves beating the Mets.
Okay. Good. Divisional round. So my two matchups is Braves and Brewers, and then Nationals Dodgers.
Okay.
I have the Braves defeating the Brewers in 4. And then I was just harping about how good the Dodgers are. I think the Nationals break their hearts 2 years in a row. The legend of Howie Kendrick will return, and the Dodgers' hearts will be broken in 5 games once again. They will lose the division series in LA once again to the Washington Nationals.
That's a beautiful fairy tale story, and I love it. So my games would be the Dodgers versus the Braves, and then the Nationals versus the Cardinals. I got the Nationals winning. And
versus the Cardinals.
Versus the Cardinals.
Okay.
We'll give them 6 games. We'll let it run out to 6 games.
Okay. No, this is divisional round.
I got it running out to 7 games. My bad. No, that I actually forgot about that. So you can roast me. I don't really care. I got the Braves beating the I already forgot. I got the Nationals beating the Cardinals in 5 games. There we go. And then I got the Braves beating the Dodgers.
Okay, I like that.
I got the Braves beating the Dodgers.
So we have the same NLCS then. We have the Nationals and Braves.
We do.
But in my scenario, the Braves have home field. Which kind of just goes to show what we think of the NL East this year. It's going to be a dogfight the whole year. And then it's going to come down to 2 NL East teams to win the league. So I have Braves Nationals. I have the Braves defeating the Nationals in 6 games.
I didn't write any of this out. I'm just kind of like going with it.
Yeah.
But I think I agree.
Braves?
I think the Braves are going to be a really good team this year.
Well, we may have the same World Series matchup then.
I think.
We may
I can almost guarantee we do.
All right, we got the Braves winning the National League. You got guys in the NL, the Dodgers with Bellinger and Betts. You got Yelich with the Brewers. But there's a team in the National League by the name of the Atlanta Braves with a guy named Ronald Acuna, who is the new face of the league when Mike Trout steps down. Which, actually, when you look at the timetable of it, Acuna may have come in a little too early if he wants to be new face of the league. Because Trout may be good for so long that Acuna is like entering the back half of his prime when Trout retires. But I'm all out on Ronald Acuna. I'm going to say it now, and you're also going to hear me say it in our award predictions. I think Acuna wins MVP this year. So I'm all in on this Braves team. And I actually like the Braves. They're like my favorite NL team. You know, there's the mutual relationship between teams in the South. So I like Atlanta.
Okay.
So we got the Braves going to the World Series. Let's move to the American League. So my wild card teams were the Rays and the Rangers. Your wild card teams were
the Yankees and the Twins.
Yankees, Twins. Okay.
Mm.
The Yankees and Twins have met in a wild card. The Yankees won. And actually, I don't know what the stat is, but the Yankees have just obliterated the Twins in every postseason appearance against the Twins in recent history.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I think it's going to happen again. The Yankees are going to beat the Twins in the wild card game.
I have the Rays defeating the Rangers, which is which is nice because every time we face the Rangers in the playoffs, we've lost. So I have the Rays beating the Rangers at the Trop in a wild card game.
Home sweet home.
Dome
sweet dome.
Dome sweet dome. Let's move on to the playoffs then. Where did my playoff? Oh, there they are. Okay, so my divisional matchups are the Athletics and White Sox, and I have the Athletics beating the White Sox in 5 games.
Okay.
Then I have the Rays and the Yankees, and this is why I chose the Rays to win wild card, is because I think it would be amazing for us to go into New York as the underdog and then win on their turf. I think that would be amazing. I think the Rays defeat the Yankees in 5 games.
Okay. I can dig it. So I also have the Rays versus the Yankees, except the Rays have home field advantage. I think the Rays win it in 4.
Okay.
I think
so we would win it on their turf also.
Yeah, we'd still win on their turf. And then in the other game, I got the Indians and the Athletics. I got the Athletics in 5.
Okay, so we have the same ALCS then.
We do.
I have Rays and Athletics. I like this series. 2 of the smallest market teams in the league. 2 teams that kind of have a bond almost, even though we beat the Athletics in the wild card game last year. There's kind of this thing where us and Athletics fans have to band together because we know that the league just hates our fan bases. And I'm pretty sure they're trying to get Oakland a new stadium as well because the Coliseum doesn't really work great for them. So I think it would be fun to highlight the small markets in an American League Championship Series. And to have 2 championship series that do not feature the Yankees, Astros, or Dodgers. That would be awesome. So
a long time.
Yeah. So I have the Rays defeating the Athletics in 5. Gentleman's sweep.
I have the Rays defeating the Athletics. I'm going to say in 6.
In
6 games, yeah.
Okay. So we have Rays and Athletics in the World Series. No, not Rays Athletics. Rays Braves. Rays Athletics in this championship series. Rays Braves.
So the beautiful thing about this, the teams aren't traveling very far.
They're not. Maybe an elevated sports trip to Atlanta to see the Rays. See the Rays clinch.
I would love that.
I have the Rays defeating the Atlanta Braves in 5 games. Another gentleman's sweep. And it would be, in my scenario, it would be in the Trop winning it. Because we would have, and we even talked about that at FanFest, how we should give the other team home field advantage so that we could win it at the Trop. So Game 5 of the 2020 World Series is when the Rays will claim the World Series championship over the Atlanta Braves.
I got the Rays winning in 7.
Okay.
Also winning it here in the glorious city, bringing tons of honor in the first World Series victory for the Tampa Bay Rays. Right to this beautiful city that is not Montreal.
Yes. I love that this city is not Montreal.
If this city was Montreal, we would be depressed all the time.
Yes.
Because who wants to live in Canada? I think I've just segmented us from the possibility of having any Canadian subscribers to this channel.
Possibly.
But, in my defense, the mayor of Montreal said that St. Petersburg was a terrible city.
Yeah.
So, I don't really care.
Here's the thing. Are we trying to gain subscribers from Canada, or are we trying to gain subscribers from right here? Are we trying to gain the loyalty of people from Canada, or are we trying to gain the loyalty of our fellow people?
You know.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real here. Like this video. Comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Check us out on the socials. Check out the pod. We'll see you later.